In this video, we are going to discuss about a very important concept called release sequence. In a complex code, there may be chains of operation carried on the same atomic variable. In such cases, release sequence provides us a rule to logically deduct the synchronization points and the outcomes. So what is the release sequence? We can define release sequence in this way. After a release operation A is performed on an atomic object M, the longest continuous subsequence of the modification on object M that consists of write performed by the same thread that performed A and the atomic read modify write operation made to M by any thread is known as release sequence headed by A. Okay, let me explain this idea with a diagram. This diagram shows such a release sequence. Here in the writer thread, we perform initial store operation with the memory order release. And in the reader thread, we perform final load operation with the memory order acquire. Now in between these two threads, there may be multiple threads perform read modify write operation on that particular atomic variable. In this case, on the count variable. Now let's look at the rule which associated with this kind of release sequence, which allows us to logically deduct the synchronization point. Now what rule specifies is, if this kind of release sequence is properly tagged and if each operation reads the value written from the previous operation, then the initial store operation and the final load operation will be synchronized. Now in this release sequence, notice that you have to properly tag each of these operations, which means in the writer thread, with this store, you have to either use memory order release, memory order sequential consistent, or memory order acquire release. And in the reader thread, when you load the particular atomic variable, you have to use either memory order acquire, memory order consume, or memory order sequential consistent. Now any read modify write operations which perform in between can have any memory ordering option, even the memory order relaxed. Now let's see an example which demonstrates how this release sequence allows us to have synchronization points. Okay, in this example, I am having two functions, writer queue function and the reader queue function. Now this writer queue function is going to execute by writer thread. And we have two threads executing this reader queue function. Now what this writer queue function does, it will populate the integer type queue called data queue, and then it will perform store on this atomic count variable with the memory order release. Now in the reader queue function, we have called fetch sub function on the count variable with the memory order acquire. So when the reader thread sees the count variable value, then there will be synchronization point between writer threads and the reader threads. Now let's imagine the reader thread 1 will execute this reader queue function first. Now in the while loop, in the if condition, we are checking count variable's value using fetch sub function with the memory order acquire. So when the reader thread 1 sees the count variable value as 20, it is going to have synchronization point between writer thread and the reader thread. So reader thread 1 will see the populated queue as well. Now notice here that this fetch sub is a read modify write operation. Now when reader thread 2 comes and execute this while loop, it will also perform this fetch sub function. Now notice that the second thread will see the count variable's value which has been already modified by the reader thread 1. But to have the synchronization between writer thread and reader thread 2, it has to see the value written from the writer thread. But in this case, it sees the value written from the reader thread 1. Therefore, without release sequence, we can argue that there's no synchronization between reader thread 2 and the writer queue. Therefore, there's a chance that reader thread 2 might not see all the value populated to the data queue. But luckily, with the release sequence, we can logically deduct that the reader thread 2 also has synchronization between writer queue. So therefore, reader thread 2 also will see the fully populated data queue. Now let's see how we can establish the synchronization between writer thread and the reader thread 2. Now in the reader thread 1, we perform fetch sub function, which is read modify write operation. And in the reader thread 2, we read the value stored from the reader thread 1. So therefore, writer thread, reader thread 1 and the reader thread 2 will establish a relay sequence, and since there's a release sequence, the final read or the fetch sub function performed by the reader thread 2 will have the synchronization with writer thread store function in this statement. So that's how we can logically deduct synchronization with the release sequence.